Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link, it'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Ooh, somebody say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's go, chat. Let's go, AAA family. Seems like I ain't seen y'all in a few days. It's really only been one day for real, but y'all know how y'all be acting. Y'all be acting like I ain't been here in like 3-4 days, man. Appreciate y'all for tapping in again. Once again, thank y'all for supporting the Coach Smook Network. As always, when you jump in, please hit the like button, the thumbs up button on YouTube. Tap the screen on TikTok. If you're on Twitch, Kick, Twitter, make sure you interact, leave a comment, drop a comment on those platforms. And if you're on Twitter, repost this thing, man. We're live on all platforms today. Facebook also, if you drop a comment and a reaction, we'll be able to see it. We're live on our Coach Smook Network page. I'm gonna try to go live on the regular page too, real quick. We'll go ahead and pop a live up over there, see if it'll pop up for us. We'll pop one. Yep, we're live now on the primary page too. So if you're my personal friend on Facebook, and you're seeing this as you pull up, let me get this piece of hair right here. I don't like that. Y'all be letting me on here with my hair looking all crazy, man. It's growing, so I don't be tracking what's going on with it half the time. Let me make sure everything's straight. Y'all just be having me on here looking in all kind of way though. Y'all really, no, I'm just playing, man. Y'all really be looking out for you, boy. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in today. Once again, today we don't have a normal regular show. This is a segment. So today's topic of conversation, we're going to get right into it as we allow people a few minutes to get in and get settled. The conversation of the day, we're addressing the big questions surrounding this game going into this weekend between Alabama and Missouri. I've had a lot of time, not necessarily downtime, but during my editing and things of that nature, y'all going to see a lot of edits posted between tonight and tomorrow morning. But in between that time, I've been watching a lot of Missouri tape. What's up, Set Dollar over there on TikTok, man? My cousin checking in, man. One of the greatest rappers to come through Montgomery, man. Is Bama going to win? Donald says, is Bama going to win on TikTok? Man, you better know it. Appreciate y'all for tapping in on TikTok. Make sure y'all come through on YouTube, though. Make sure y'all come through on YouTube. Subscribe at Coach Smook on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe so that we can get to this. First of all, we're trying to get to 5K. Don't downplay it. We're trying to get to 5K, and we on the way. We at 3.5 right now. Be a little bit less than 1,500 left. But then also, this is the best way to stay tight on your content, like coverage of Alabama. When I say you got a true insider here, you got a true insider. And let's give it up right now. We got a new member in the family. Was that Dietrich Kent? Is that Dietrich Kent? Appreciate Dietrich Kent for becoming a member of the AAA family, man. Y'all give it up for him. Sirens on the sirens on the sirens on the sirens on the. Hey, what do we say when we get some more AAA family, man? Y'all already know what time it is, man. It's Roll Tide only in this chat. Y'all give it up for my guy, man. Dietrich, appreciate you. Everybody welcome Dietrich, all the AAA family. Make sure y'all welcome him into the AAA family. Thank you for supporting this content, man, and support. Y'all, don't forget there's multiple ways to support the content, not just by becoming a member, like you saw at the beginning of the channel on the opening, but also you can super chat. Super chats are on YouTube. Come in, pick whatever, purchase. It highlights your comment, and it donates a little change to me. However much. It could be a lot of change, little change. Whatever y'all want to donate is there. You got options there, but then also direct donation opportunities. My producer in the back, shout out to Mary J. Throughout the show, if you decide to, if you want to donate, just in the chat, you can put ! Cash App, ! PayPal, or ! Venmo. Now, Cash App and PayPal, we have QR codes. I said VR. We got QR codes that will pop up. So if you want to donate through Cash App, that's the QR code there. Then we have PayPal also right here. All right, and then we also got our merch link, y'all. Make sure y'all check out your boys' merch, Coach Smook Network merch, AAA family merch. We got it there. Again, this is how you become a member right here. And then Discord. If you don't have a Discord channel, if you don't have a Discord page or a Discord app, get on it. That's how you know when I'm getting ready to go live. YouTube don't always send out notifications, so you always get the notification in Discord. What's up, Thad? Good to check you out. See you in the chat over there, man. Zach, what's good? The other Jay, what's good? Antoine, what's good, my boy? Antoine, where your wristband? The Promised Land says, what it do, Coach Smook? Roll Tide to you, man. Antoine said, man, where you been? The content out here, it's about to drive me crazy. Nice to hear some real authentic content instead of some old wash and repeat mess. Oh my God. Hey, my boy, who you been watching and got you ready? Listen, man, who you been watching? I got a good idea, but yeah. But my guy said, get Big Trey said, I'm about to roll tide. You better. Hey, he said, are you live on TikTok from YouTube? No, I'm on so I use a streaming software that allows me to multi-stream to different platforms, so that's why we send that with it. But let's get into the show, y'all. We're walking up on that 15-minute mark. Let me give y'all an overview of what today's episode or today's segment is going to cover as we get into this conversation today. Alabama versus Missouri. As Bama Nation, we know what we're going into this game with behind us, right? A lot of things that are going to play into this game, a lot of playoff conference championship game implications here early. We're talking about week 7 officially, but week 6 for us, game 6 for us at the halfway point in the season. 2 conference games in or 1 conference game in. We only played Georgia. No, two conference games in, and we're talking about playoff implications already because of the type of talent across the SEC. So, and I'm talking about teams right now. You still have so many teams in it. One, you haven't had enough games to play, but so many teams are showing a lot of promise early in their conference play. Texas A&M, LSU is stuttering, but they came into the season with a lot of heat. LSU is there. Georgia is still in the mix. Oklahoma is leading the pack right now in the SEC. If you was to ask me, they look like the most complete team right now since week 1. Then you have just everybody else kind of falling in. Ole Miss, Alabama. Even though we beat Georgia, Georgia is still in it. Tennessee is going to be there. A lot of competitive teams. Mississippi State is an underlying team that if they show up with a game, they could beat just about anybody in the conference right now. So this is a great year to be watching the SEC, but in particularly because of week 1 loss versus Florida State, which in hindsight doesn't mean anything for our playoff implications other than your overall record won't look as good on your resume going into the playoffs and trying to get selected. You still got a chance to win your conference. If you win out, you don't lose any games. I mean, the
surprise, the natty is still in sight for Alabama. So this weekend, there's a little bit more attention on that aspect of winning, going 1-0 every weekend, and trying to get to the college football playoff for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So we'll be talking about just what the game means, right? Then secondly, we'll talk about what are the big questions here. What are the big questions, right? What are the big questions in this game as far as how these teams approach? What's Alabama's biggest concern? I won't speak for Missouri. I'm gonna speak for Alabama. What's Alabama's biggest concern diving into this game? And then we'll get over and we'll highlight that concern, and we'll dive into it and break it down in three different segments. So three different topic points. So I'll get into it. We're gonna bring some facts with it. We're gonna bring some facts with it. Number one, be ready, because if you don't trust my data, I tell you where I got it from. You go check it yourself. But we're gonna put the stats out there, and this is why I believe Alabama will beat Missouri. And I will give y'all my score prediction. Like, I'm feeling comfortable about I can't talk right now. I'm feeling comfortable about it. And I'll make sure I give y'all my score prediction this game. And then after tonight's live, I don't think I'm gonna go live and do it. I'm gonna do an actual edit for the live game simulation. We'll feature it tomorrow morning on the show. First, the half of the show will be. Now let's do regular call-in show tomorrow. We got 1 minute, Mary J. Let's do regular call-in show tomorrow, and then after the call-in show, we'll premiere the live game simulation. That way, I can watch it with the chat again. The interaction on the last premiere, when it wasn't live game sim, but we just replayed a live gaming situation between me and Adrian, Alabama, Georgia. Had a few people tap in. Nobody knew we was going to do what I was testing out. I kind of like doing that better because I get to interact with the chat. So I may just do that, upload it on StreamYard, come in that way. When the comments and stuff, y'all can comment on the game, and I can put y'all comments on the screen after it's recorded. And that way, whichever way I want to get it edited, if you say something during the game that gets highlighted or something that is catchy, we can have it on the final edit for Saturday morning when we post that edit. And we want to try to keep those edits to 15 minutes or less for these live game simulations. An hour to watch it live and get kind of stretched out. So here, 10 seconds to kick off the show. So that's what we'll be getting into. So let's get into it, y'all. If y'all ready to get into it, holler at your boy and say, "Put me in the game, Coach Smook." Let's go, chat.
You're talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips?
The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
It's not going to take us a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what.
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Chat, let's get into it, man. I'm telling y'all right now, this weekend, Alabama, number 8 versus number 13. I believe they have Missouri ranked number 13, if I'm not mistaken. Missouri ranked number 14. So number 8, Alabama versus number 14. We're on the road in Columbia, Missouri this Saturday. Team actually, I think, headed out. They headed out tonight. They head out tonight, and then they get to do walkthroughs on Friday in Columbia. So going to be exciting to see how this team is prepared going on the road. Last road game we were on was Georgia in Athens, hostile territory. Was able to go win a game where you only had 5 total penalties for the team. One of the least penalized games we've had under Chattin W. The only other game was the previous year against Western Kentucky, and that was 3. No, as a matter of fact, that was 5-2. I forget which game was the 3. But we only had 3 penalties last year. And one thing that starts to resonate, and this is kind of like a sidebar type thing. One thing that resonates with me with Chattin W's wherever he's been as far as a coach during his coaching tenure, he's always been able to have disciplined teams. Now, that first year, it might not be, the numbers might not show because he's usually carrying over previous roster assets, personnel, people learning different systems, First, you're trying to gauge personalities, players, assets, what they bring to the table. I look at that and I say this. I say, if this continues to prove itself true, Alabama, the past 2 weeks, has not had a double digit, or for the past 3 weeks, hasn't had a double digit penalty game. And we know last year that's what kept other teams in the game. Defensive penalties on third down after getting a third down stop, giving them automatic conversion. I think last year Alabama was in the top 25 as far as personal fouls committed, where there was targeting, late hit, illegal hands to the face, all of these things, these personal foul penalties that get called in the game, 15-yard penalties. Alabama led in those. In the SEC, I think they were like number 3 as far as penalized teams. So seeing that we're not in the top 6, top 7 in the SEC, I think right now we're at number 12 for total penalties. That's good in the 16-team race. We want to see that discipline continue. And it's crazy because our penalties, the closer we get, and I want to say this because this kind of is a point to point out. When you look at it, guys, Alabama in better competition, more competitive play, quote unquote, you have seen a more disciplined and effective executing team. If I could say, if that's how you put those words together. Florida State week 1 will allow that one off. I'd rather the one off at the beginning of the season than later on in the season against Oklahoma, like we did last year, right? When we got beat last year, I felt like we got beat. We beat ourselves in a few of those games, but we were able to score. We played a game. We didn't turn it on until too late. Against Tennessee, same thing against Vanderbilt. But against Oklahoma, I just felt like we did not play a good brand of football. So this team is getting better week in, week out. This game means a lot for both teams. One, Missouri is on a freaking roll right now. You look at their strength of schedule up until this point, not the most intriguing, but Missouri in the past under Coach Drinkwitz has had similar type schedules as far as opponents available, right? And I'm looking at a bug up there, y'all. That's why I keep looking up. You've seen Missouri have similar opponents earlier in the season, as they have in the past. But this season, they're really handling business. They look like a fluid team. They're experienced on both sides of the ball. They have a quarterback that they believe in. They have a run game that they are truly leaning on. I can't really attest to their offensive line because of the competition or the defensive line. But I can tell you they have some players on each side of the ball that can make plays and create some explosives for them. So when I look at this matchup, the weaknesses collide and the strengths collide. And we're going to talk about that now. The biggest concern, let's roll into this, y'all. The biggest concern for Alabama coming into this game, let's talk about it, because a lot of you fans continue to come in and say this in the chat. And I want to acknowledge a few stats here that'll make you think. So listen closely, open your ears. Don't listen to what's my they're not my boys no more, but Sharpshooter Podcast. I was listening to him the other day, just kind of listening to all of the content creators that cover Alabama and listening to their analysis. And like Antoine, I can't remember who said it earlier in the chat, but oh yeah, like Antoine said, a lot of people just repeating the same thing. You could tell everybody's watching Clint and who are the other guys that really watch film and put stuff out and don't wait for everybody else's synopsis. Josh Pay, you can tell that people have been watching them, which is great. But I love when people are able to listen to things and hear the validity in a lot of these takes. So there's some validity in some of these statements. The biggest concern is Alabama's run defense. There's some validity in that. The run defense as a whole is not my concern. It's limiting the explosive runs. And when I say that, somebody says, isn't that being able to stop the run game? Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You all remember I made this statement about Alabama's run offense, our run game on the offensive side. And appreciate the heart reaction over there on Facebook, Joseph. Appreciate that love, man. Alabama's run game is not designed to be explosive. You're talking about the inside zone scheme, the outside zone scheme, the perimeter toss game, the counter run game, the jet sweeps your traditional. Let me reestablish that. Let me restate that. Your traditional run game in this offense is not designed to be explosive. Your explosive run game is going to come off of extensions of the run game. So what I mean by that is the screens, the trick plays, the gadget plays, Jeremy Bernard lining up in the backfield, Ryan Williams motioning through the backfield, Latsier Brooks coming in on jet motions for handoff. All of these things happening are extensions of the run game. Now, what Alabama has allowed is extensions of the run game, right, to be explosive, or second effort run game to be explosive, meaning the bounce outs against Georgia. You had 6 plays of 20 plus yards or more. That's 120 yards total of offense. I think Georgia ended the game with 205 or something like that. Let me look at the stats from the Georgia game. I think Georgia ended the game with like 225 rushing or something like that. And in that game, though, outside of those 120 yards of rushing, Alabama was able to hold Georgia to 2.4 yards per carry. Outside of those 6 explosive runs. Okay, let me look at the stats real quick. I want to pull up the overall stats real quick. I forgot to put that in the notes here. So against Georgia, Alabama gave up 227 yards, right? 6.9 yards per carry. I would lean towards more so the fact that 6.9 is more of a result of the 6 20+ yard runs that you had. Out of the 33 attempts, so if you're giving up 6 big attempts on 33 attempts, so one out of every 5 attempts, you're going to give up a big play is what Alabama's defense was saying going into the Georgia game. But let's turn the page. What did Alabama do against Vanderbilt the following week? A team that ranks higher than Vanderbilt. We'll talk about that. But that's the biggest concern for Alabama right now, the run defense. And then offensively, can we run the ball? Alabama, up until Jam Miller's return, had a certain yard per carry average that they were seeing effective run game, but not explosive, not showcasing the ability to really lean on the run game. You were able to use it, but you didn't have the ability. Now with a little bit more experience and explosive Jam Miller back, you see the difference the last 2 weeks. Against Georgia, the yard per carry average goes from 3.4 coming into that game to 3.7. And then last week against Vanderbilt, a 5.1 clip for yard per carry average for the total running game, right? Minus the Ty Simpson negative scrambles or whatever. So we look at it, and we look at those 2 biggest things, the biggest concerns. Now, my biggest what I'm so confident about, Bama's biggest boast. We got concerns and we got things that we boast about. I will say this, I think our secondary will be able to create turnovers, and I'll talk about that. And then I will say this also, I think the wide receivers and tight ends, the passing game of Alabama is of the caliber that Missouri has yet to have seen this season. And I don't see them dominating in the trenches, getting to the quarterback, creating a lot of pressures to have. I think Missouri currently has 7 sacks total this season. I'm gonna pull up my notes in a second. Missouri currently has 9 sacks or something like that this season. They're only averaging 2 sacks a game, right at 2 sacks a game. They're not able to get pressure with 4. And they face some offensive lines that aren't necessarily worth, talking about when you're talking about having a solid defense and being able to bottle up the run game and bottle up the get pressure on the quarterback. Believe it or not, Alabama has more pressures on the quarterback in big games against ranked opponents currently. Vanderbilt, Georgia, right? Missouri's only ranked game against South Carolina, they only have 6 pressures on Lenore Sellers, and everybody, you can look at South Carolina's offense and tell that is a struggle bus right now. So let's get into the conversation. We're rolling up on the 30-minute mark. I want to be able to fit all of this into a timely manner. Don't want to keep y'all here long tonight. We don't have the phone lines open tonight, but in the morning we got the Coach Smook calling show, and we'll be opening the phone lines. Let's get to the first topic here, and we're going to talk about why Alabama's run defense can't contain Missouri's run game. And I'm gonna just highlight these numbers real quick, man, and I'm gonna talk about how it plays out for Alabama's defense. Here we go. I like that font too, Mary J. If y'all like that font, man, give it up, man. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the details on the stream, but we've been doing some quality stuff for y'all. So I hope y'all appreciate it. Y'all motivate us to do it, and to kind of dive into researching better presentation aspects for this, right? And y'all make it easy. So let's get into the conversation, y'all. Here we go. I look at the stats, right? Alabama's run defense. We talk about how many explosive plays. Alabama right now to date has given up the most explosive runs to this point. Pull up my synopsis here. Alabama's run defense is currently ranked number 87 after facing 3 opponents currently ranked in the top 50 as far as run production. You're talking about Georgia, Vanderbilt, and oh my God, who's the other team? And Florida State. I'm sorry. Florida State, Georgia, Vanderbilt. All 3 of those teams are currently ranked in the top 50 as far as run production opponents. Florida State being up near the top. I think they were like number 4 or number 2 or something like that. Florida State overall offense, I think they're like in the top 5 also. So week 1 defense comes in, we get punched in the mouth. We see how explosive the run game can be against some of the fits that we have. We start making adjustments the following weeks. We got lesser competition to slow the game down, start seeing things a little bit better. You get into the Georgia game, you see some things early on. They just kind of hurt you. These different looks, these extensions of the run game hurt you. You make adjustments enough to hold off that team. Come back against Vanderbilt, the team that's supposed to be eye candy Vandy, right? And you shut them down in the run game. You give a 165-yarder and a 34-yarder. Your explosive runs go from 7, 8 in a game. Well, 6 are recorded, but we I think 15 yards on second down, 2nd and 10 is explosive too. So I would say about 7 or 8 against Vanderbilt. To limit it in Vanderbilt, a team that's more efficient in create explosives, right, than Georgia, and limiting them to, those 2 explosive runs, right? No explosive passes in the game from Vanderbilt because the pass defensive efficiency for Alabama is amongst the top 25 in the country right now. So I look at these numbers. The top 54 so far for Alabama playing against opponents with that are ranked in the top 50. And still able to average out in the top 100 as far as total run defense. Now, if you was to remove some of the non-power 4 teams, right, I think the rankings, we have to have some type of measurements there to really separate what really means what and what doesn't, because you got crazy numbers against, like Mizzou. They have crazy rushing numbers, crazy defensive numbers, efficiency numbers against teams like who do they start? Central Arkansas and Louisiana, Lafayette and UMass. Like, those are their games that's padding their stats as far as stopping the run game and being able to run the ball, right? Break broken tackles and all of that. I look at this game and I say, well, has Missouri been challenged enough to really say that their average of 4.8 yards per carry is legit, right? Has Missouri been challenged enough or been playing against enough talent to say that their running back that's leading the country or second in the country as far as broken tackles, Ahmad Hardy, is he really that great of a runner with leading the in the top 5 as far as broken tackles and yards after contact? Is he really legit after playing against UMass, Central Arkansas, Louisiana, Lafayette, Kansas, who is a horrible team on defense this season? A horrible team on defense. Kansas is not even top 50 as far as defense is ranked in the country, top 100. I don't even think Kansas is top 125 right now. Let me look at my notes. Did I put that in there? Missouri's highest ranked run defense that they've played right now is Kansas at 91. So Alabama at 87 is not in a bad spot. It's not in a bad spot. Kansas also had 16 broken tackles against them when they played Missouri earlier this year. After they jumped out to a 21-point lead, Missouri was able to lean on the run game, and they were able to break 16 tackles against Kansas. That's not good football at all. So I'm not too hell bent on Missouri's run game being so elite and Alabama not being able to stop it. When you look at the level of competition that we've had to grow through, right? The reps that we're seeing are young linebackers, young defensive backs, veteran guys have to adjust to and make over the last 3 weeks since Wisconsin, Georgia, Vanderbilt. Physical teams that are going to line up and make you work in the trenches. They got it out to the perimeter, bounced out to the perimeter. You learn from that. I don't see Missouri's offense being able to be able to combat that on a high rate because they're not conditioned for it. Play calling wise, I trust Eli Drinkwitz. I think he's going to give Kane Womack a run for his money, play calling wise, but will they be able to execute at a high level based off the competition levels that they played? I think that would be a huge factor in it. So Alabama's run defense, I truly believe, looking at those numbers, not what Missouri's averaging a game, yards per carry. Another stat, real quick. I'm going to say this. Alabama's run defense has the 31st ranked yard per carry average against their defense at 3.1. We're at 31, right? A lot of teams at 2.8, a lot of teams at 3.4, 4.1. This Alabama team, after 5 games, facing 3 top 50 opponents. As far as containing the I ain't gonna say traditional run game, just overall run game, 3.1 yards per carry. So there's an imbalance in this. I think a lot of your early season explosive runs that was given up by Alabama's defense, right? God didn't tell me I had this doggone rag behind me. I think a lot of your early season in-game explosive runs were just reps. You're trying to get guys used to the pace of the game. A lot of things are not called in clearly. You're just playing. You're trying to fit, and you're being hesitant. But we've seen less and less explosives every week. You know, as the competition gets better, we've seen less and less explosives. We went from 6 to 2. 6 against Vanderbilt to 2. Can we cut that 2 out and keep the run game of Missouri, a team that's really going to lean on their run game? Can we keep them under their averages? You don't have to stop it and shut it out, but keep them under their averages. Can you make Ahmad Berry average 2.3 yards per carry? Right? Can you keep 6 close to the line of scrimmage, 7 close to the box, right, without getting out of phase, and provide that run containment that you need to be successful? I think Alabama can do it. 3.1 yard clip. We were at a 2.4 yard clip at one point in the Georgia game, right? 1.8 at one point during the Wisconsin game. Vanderbilt was the only team that was able to maintain an average of 3.8 or higher throughout the game. And when you see how we were able to bottle that up and limit it because of how efficient the defense was able to get off on third down. Now, that's another thing that's going to play a huge part in this game. Bama's defense's ability to get off the field on third down. Week 1 was the worst week of the season. Since then, every time Alabama's on the field, our third down get off the field rate or third down conversion rate as far as defense getting off the field, we went from a 28% clip in week 1 against Florida State. Now you're sitting right at a 38, 39%. So 1 out of every 3 third downs, we're going to be able to shut it down and get off the field. And just a side note, conversely, every time the defense has forced a turnover or downs or a turnover, Alabama right now is converting those into some type of points, where there's 3 points, 7 points. Alabama's converting that into points 53% of the time. So for every turnover, every other turnover and downs, you can expect Alabama to get some type of points, 3 to 7 points out of that. So those are good numbers to pay attention to when you're talking about a Missouri team that hasn't been challenged with a team with the level of talent that Alabama has on both sides of the ball, especially when it comes to containing that run game. Alabama's run game saw a surge, an immediate surge, soon as Jam Miller touched the field. We saw it. We saw how you could just keep a consistent run game and then have a change of pace back with Kevin Riley. I would love to see us keep that deep rotation, but knowing Kalen DeBoer and that staff and how they've done it in the past, when they find their bell cow, they ride the bell cow and they have a solid, I guess you can say, a change of pace back or relief back. And then you usually have a third guy that's going to get 3 or 4 carries to kind of relieve both of those guys. But looking at practice this week, I saw a lot of rotation in the running back room. Maybe it's just to kind of preserve Jam, you know, being that he's a fourth year guy, and that he's got the experience on him, giving other guys an opportunity to step up just in case we might run into a situation where he may go down again. You don't want the explosiveness to leave the running back room again. You have more than enough capable guys in it to keep this type of run production up that we saw last week. Offensive line is picking it up. This run game for Alabama is more of a threat to me now than Missouri is when we look at the matchups right now. All right, second point I want to make. Let's transition. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Alabama's why is everyone so sold on Missouri's defense? Is Missouri's defense that good? Is Mizzou's defense that good? I want to hang up something. I wrote this statement, and y'all, I got notes. I wish y'all could see my notes. It's pretty cool how I wrote it out because I wanted to be like professional. You know, let me take a sip of water real quick. I want to be politically correct. You know what I'm saying? Let me take a sip real quick. All right, I look at it now. Check this out, chat. What's up, Britt? Good to see you over there on TikTok. And Britt, make sure if we get comments on TikTok, make sure you bring them to the chat for me so I could get these questions in. If you don't mind. All right, so is Mizzou's defense that good? I won't say they're trash, but I'm not sold on how dominant everybody's saying that their run defense is. I watched the South Carolina game. Yes, they contained the run game with South Carolina, but they could not stop Lenore Sellers. They could not stop a beat up Lenore Sellers. They really couldn't. Missouri, Vanderbilt put a hurting on Sellers and that South Carolina squad, and their defense just they made a few plays because of the lack of execution from South Carolina. Even before that, and I don't want to put too much on that Kansas game. I saw the physicality of Missouri in that Kansas game, but outside of that, they didn't do nothing impressive. They didn't have crazy explosive plays. Like I said, Ahmad is the running back. He is the heartbeat of that Missouri offense. But the defense, man, they gave up 21 points in the first quarter against Kansas, right? So I feel like the quicker that Kansas was scoring, it was giving Missouri more opportunities to establish a run game. But if Kansas wanted to slow the ball down and run the ball against this Missouri defense, they probably could have. They didn't even try to. They were having so much success in the pass game. So when I look at this matchup in this game, if we want to be honest, Alabama fans, what is our strength offensively? We've seen the pass game from week 1 against Florida State be efficient, right? No turnovers. You had more drops in that game than you had touchdown passes, right? You had 3 passes in that game that could have been touchdowns, or 3 opportunities to throw touchdown passes that you didn't take because of the weather and different circumstances, things moving kind of fast, whatever. But since week 1, this team, the pass game, Alabama's pass game, has been the most effective thing for their team going offensively. Missouri, let's talk about Missouri's defensive pass ranking, their defensive pass ranking. All right, defensively, Missouri is ranked number 67 in pass defense, right? Number 67. Wrong statement. As far as explosives, giving up explosives, Missouri's defense is number 67 as far as giving up passes 20 yards or more. Number 67. They give up a lot of deep balls. They give up a lot of deep passes. I already told you they're outside the top 50 as far as getting pressures on quarterback, and also as far as sacks per game, averaging 2 sacks per game, 1.8. I give them 2 sacks per game. You look at those numbers against the Alabama team, offensive passing wise, the passing completion percentage, Ty Simpson is in the top 10, right? Yards per game, Ty Simpson and his Alabama's offense in the top 20. And a lot of these stats early season on, I don't know why people pay so much to, those early season stats. They're padded when they're so inconsistent. They're fluctuated. Alabama's consistent with their stat production as far as passing and run. The run game is actually increasing. Sacks are decreasing. Turnovers, we never had a problem. The first turnover was against Vanderbilt last week, right? So the Alabama offense poses more threat to the Missouri run defense than we've seen against Missouri all season, because we know that they're going to have to take away the pass in order to have a chance. So how do they combat that? Do they load the box and try to play man on the outside and try to disrupt Ty Simpson by sending him 5, 6, 7 man pressures, right? And trusting their secondary to cover for 3 seconds. Ty Simpson right now, in the passing game, averaging with 3 seconds or more in protection, which they're giving him 3 seconds or more in protection on his dropbacks. They're giving him that much time on 48% of his dropback snaps. I went and did some research, chat. 48% of his dropback snaps, he's having 3 or more seconds, right? His completion percentage is in the high 70s right now, or mid 70s over the whole season. And right now, you're talking about that type of completion percentage with 3 seconds or more against a team that's not getting to the quarterback, not amongst the elites when it's coming to getting pressure, not necessarily sacking, but just getting pressure. Alabama's offensive line is the number 1 ranked offensive line coming into the season. They're starting to show it, even with the depth of rotation that we're seeing. I think in this game, Missouri not being able to get home will create such a sizable margin as far as what's going to happen in production for Alabama's offense against their defense, that Missouri's going to have to change up their style of offense coming into this game. They're not going to be able to hand the ball off 40 times this game because of how bad their defense is on the back end, and their front can't get to the quarterback. Now, can they tackle? Missouri's worst tackling game, they only missed 7 tackles in the game. Alabama hasn't been a team to break a lot of tackles and all of that anyways. We just beat you over top. We've been beating you over top. So I look at this game and I'm looking at that matchup. Everybody want to talk about these numbers, these padded numbers that Missouri's collected up these first 5 weeks. Right? If Missouri had a Georgia on their schedule before us, or if they had even a Texas, a team that's struggling right now but has talent. If Missouri had or LSU to start the season, or somebody like that before us, I would give them more of a serious, like, as far as their stats, I would respect them on a different level. But at this point, because of the level of competition, and I'm not logo watching when I'm watching this film. I'm watching transfer defensive tackles or defensive tackles at Central Arkansas create penetration in the middle of Missouri's offensive line in week 1. And then 2 weeks later, you go against ULL, Louisiana Lafayette, and you're seeing the same penetration in their pass game. And then you're seeing their defense give up explosive passes throughout the season. South Carolina, Kansas, Central Arkansas only scored 6 points on them. But they were able to get into the field goal range because of how they were passing the ball. 12-yarder, 15-yarder, 18-yarder, 21-yarder, Central Arkansas. UMass last week, same thing. A team that doesn't throw the ball very well had success. So Alabama's elite talent, you're talking about guys 4-4, 4-5, 4-3, 4-3, 4-3, 4-4. All these wide receivers that come through that rotation throughout the game. And then tight end assets that come in and I mean tight end blocking in the run game and receiving. Tight end, the tight end room only has 5 drops total. 4 of those are by Josh Cuevas. 2 of them in tight spots, 2 of them just bad drops. One for Marshall Pritchett. Not Marshall Pritchett, Caleb Edwards. So I look at that factor and I say, okay, Alabama, with those numbers, those tell me things. And these are numbers that I believe offensive quality control analysts have to pay attention to, right? Alabama's offense, the run game, I told y'all this earlier when I was making a statement. The run game, Missouri's defense is currently giving up, and I'm gonna go back and get this stat. Missouri's defense is currently giving up 3.6 yards per carry game. Since Jerry Miller has been back, Alabama's offense is averaging 5.1 yards per carry. That's up from 3.7 before he was there. Does this play a factor in how effective Alabama run game is against Missouri team who against nobody that's in the top 100? Kansas is the highest ranked run offense that they've played. Nobody that's in the top 100 really that has tested their run defense. I think Alabama will have a chance to do that. Lastly, we got 15 minutes left. Lastly, Alabama's passing game is the game changer. Elite passing game. Y'all heard me kind of talk about it. I want to get into some matchups that we could possibly see when Missouri goes into, because Missouri will get aggressive. They will get aggressive, and they're not scared to play. They're not scared to play. What is it? Man coverage. I'm trying to pull something up. So and this is a so just to be fair, if y'all think Alabama's run game or the way that it's being called is not effective, I want to shut y'all up real quick. Missouri runs the same defensive scheme as Alabama. These guys play with effort 100% of the snaps. A lot of play calls and alignment that you see from Alabama against formations, you're going to see the same thing against Missouri. And people ask and they wonder why. They're like, okay, how do you get that? And they trying to kind of curious of why that happens. Well, the defensive coordinator for Missouri was Kane Womack's defensive coordinator at South Alabama. He was just recently hired in January of 2024, so recently hired last year. He left from South Alabama same time. Coach Womack left South Alabama. Both lead to get defensive coordinator roles, carry on their systems to both programs. Now, last year, we saw how trash Missouri's defense was against the run and the pass. When guys don't know what they're doing and they don't play with effort, they look bad. This year, they know what they're doing, and they're playing with effort, and they look good against the competition that they played. They didn't look great against South Carolina. South Carolina, Lenore Sellers in that pass game was elite. I think Lenore Sellers had 300 passing yards against Missouri's defense. But they were committed to stopping the run game. So this scheme can stop the run game. It's all about players and their effort and their level of focus. Missouri right now, run defense-wise, they have the number one ranked run defense. The number one ranked run defense in the nation, chat. We're talking about a team that, in my mind, has not played anybody. Giving up 2.64 yards per carry through all 5 games. Only giving up 2 total rushing touchdowns this season. Only giving up 62 yards a game. Alabama right now, going before Vanderbilt game, we were only averaging like 94 yards a game. Against top 50 defenses, though, 3 teams that we done played have top 50 defense. So it's different levels to this. But the passing game, Missouri's passing game, they have not played a top 100 passing game. They have not played a top 100 production as far as passing statistics. And I might be wrong because I think Kansas might be right there like 63, 64. South Carolina isn't up there. They had a good game against Missouri, but they haven't been effective and explosive in the pass game all season. So I look at that. I look at the strengths and the weaknesses, the clashes, right? You say your run defense is the best. You're giving up 2.6 per carry against teams that's averaging total. All your opponents averaging 2.9 outside of their matchups against you. 2.9. I don't think they're doing much of anything to really say that they're a dominant team. I don't think they played the level of talent. And and for anybody watching Alabama's offense week in and week out, the offense and the run game hasn't necessarily been a problem. We haven't had explosive numbers in the run game, but we make teams respect the run game. We make them respect the run game. And now with Jam Miller back, you can't help but respect it even more. But this past game, Missouri's they've given up the second most explosive. They average giving up the second most explosive passing plays of 15 yards or more in the SEC. Now, as far as how many times teams have been able to attempt it against, you're talking about South Carolina and Kansas right now as the major stats that you're putting this up against. But UMass, 27-yarder, 22-yarder, right? Two big passes in that game. Central Arkansas, big passes in the game. Let's talk about it. What's that? 19, 34, 21. That's 3 big passes in the game. Alabama, y'all remember what did I share with y'all about Alabama's target number of explosives in their passing game? You're talking about a team that wants to hit 6 to 8 explosives in the game. That's averaging like 2 explosives in a quarter. Right now, 5.5, 6 right now, 5.6, I think is right now what they're averaging. Missouri is giving up an average of 3 to 4 a game, 3.4, 3.6, something like that. I think Alabama will find his spots a lot early on in this game. If we could jump out fast on them, I don't think Missouri has the explosiveness to come back, and I think our defense plays good enough. So Alabama's pass game is the game changer. Let's talk about that. Let me read my notes. I like my notes right here on this one. Alabama's passing game may prove decisive in this matchup, with the offensive line allowing just 1.8 sacks per game and only 0.8 against top 100 defenses. You remember the struggle I told you about Missouri's defense not being able to create a lot of pressure on quarterbacks that they face. They may have 7 sacks, 9 sacks, whatever it is up until this point in the season, but they have not been able to disrupt teams and create a high level of turnovers. You're talking about a quarterback in Alabama that only has 1 interception through 5 games, has the highest one of the highest completion percentage. QBR rating is the highest, one of the highest in the country right now. And once again, not getting pressure. Ty Simpson, and I'm looking at my notes right now, when Ty Simpson has 3 seconds or more, he has a 91% completion percentage on all of his passes this season. Against ranked opponents, it's at 89%. So it's no drop off. Don't matter if you give him 3 seconds, no matter who you are, he's going to complete a pass. Right? Plays downfield, 10 plus yards or more. Ty Simpson is currently 84% on those passes. And I didn't even go and look up the stat if he have a certain amount of time. 84% on those passes. Missouri currently right now, their pass completion percent or the pass completion percentage 15 yards or more is 47%. And I have to continue. That's a great number, right? You're only giving up less than half of the passes, explosive passes that you're seeing thrown at you. But look at the competition. Nobody that you face is currently ranked in the top 100 as far as passing offenses. So are you really shutting down good passing games? Or are you just doing what you're supposed to do against lesser talent and lesser competition in the passing game? So if Alabama receivers can capitalize on their opportunities and not drop the ball, right? We've had a problem with drops, big drops, not necessarily the volume of drops, just big drops and big moments. If we can catch the ball this game, I think this game gets very lopsided very quick. We got 7 minutes to close this out. Mary J, final thoughts here on Coach Smook Network. I'm going to get into it because I'm ready. I'm ready for Saturday. Tomorrow morning, we'll get into the conversations. I open up the phone lines for y'all tomorrow morning. But tonight, I'm going to say this. My final thought on this game coming into this game. I think Alabama, especially, can I do my story time type of feel for the game? Can I do that for y'all real quick? Give me a second. Let's do this. I'm gonna go to a different scene real quick, Mary J. Let me give y'all a quick synopsis of how I think this game is going to go. All right, here we go. Check it out. All right, so if I had to give y'all my final thoughts on this game, how I feel like this game is going to go, right? I'm going to say it like this. I think, and we'll do two sides of this. If Alabama gets the ball first, I truly believe the first drive, because we're in Mizzou, it's an early game, you will see Coach Grubb. If we get the ball first, you will see him dial up something big to get the heart pumping, to get the excitement into the game, to get guys dialed into trying to take a knockout punch. They've done it, 3 or 4 games in a row now. Ty Simpson has been smart enough with his IQ to come up to the line of scrimmage, see if he has an opportunity with it, right? He'll change the play, or if he can't change the play. And I don't think we face a lot of issues with crowd noise in Columbia. It's not one of the hardest stadiums to play in. Now, when they're winning, when they're in good spots, that adds to it. But as far as crowd noise, we were in Athens, right? We were in Athens 2 weeks ago. I think we'll be fine. And we only had 4 penalties in that game. 2 of them was offensive line penalties. Well, only one offensive line penalty, pre-snap penalty. And then Josh Quavers had the other one, tight end, while he was split out. So it's a level of focus that needs to be maintained, right? But Alabama comes out first drive. We score on the explosives. I'm talking about like a minute drive, a minute 15, minute 20 seconds. I feel like we score quick. Missouri scrambles defensively. Offense comes out. They run the ball. Alabama's able to force a 3 and out early in the game. Missouri punts the ball. Alabama drives the ball. Field goal, 10-0. Missouri gets the ball back. They try to run the ball again. Alabama gives up maybe 1 or 2 explosives, bend but don't break type of drive. We get the ball back. Maybe Missouri gets a field goal off of that, but bend but don't break applies second drive. We've seen these third drive though. Alabama's offense comes out. We're able to run the ball, get explosive, get them off balance left and right. This is third drive is when Ryan Grubb wants to get to that 10 to 14. If you're going to contain us, we want to run 10 to 14 plays. By the end of the third drive, first quarter should be ended. Alabama with a 10-3, 10-0 lead. Open the second quarter, hit them with a few more punches in the chest, hit them for an explosive score. Alabama's up 17-0 at the second quarter. Full probability that Missouri offense comes out. They're able to get a little physical, able to get in scoring range again. Maybe they score, but I think bend but don't break applies for the second drive in a row. Right, fourth drive, Alabama comes out. This is the first drive where we see maybe some disruption from Missouri's defense, trying to be a little bit more aggressive with their pressures. And that's when you kind of I see the game kind of slowing down for Alabama's offense after getting a 17-point lead, right? Or the 2-possession lead, kind of slowing down to in the half. But Missouri, I truly believe Missouri's offense, trying to be a passing 2-minute style offense, will allow Alabama to force one of those middle 8 turnovers that we've seen from this defense, or the turnover and downs that we've seen from this defense the past 3 weeks. Being able to get an offensive opportunity to create some momentum, separation going into the half. That middle 8, last 4 minutes of the second quarter, first 4 minutes of the third quarter. That's when Alabama has really been effective in hitting. If we're trying to hit 7 explosive plays a game, you'll see us go for 5 of those 7 in that middle 8, because that's when the momentum can really be shifted. I think the third quarter is when you really start to see Alabama's play calling applied, especially on the offensive side. Defensively, I just don't see that run game being as explosive as everybody's giving it. I think back to the last time Alabama saw an explosive run game with this defense. I ain't talking about Leonard Fournette, LSU. I'm talking about under Kane Womack and this staff. Last time we saw an explosive run game was supposed to be an explosive run game was Auburn. And we saw how the Iron Bowl went. Michigan, they didn't really kill us in the run game, in that bowl game. And you got to think, we had like 14 players on the field that hadn't even played, 20 snaps that season. So a lot of different things played into the game, the rain, all of that stuff. So looking at what it is now, Florida State came in with an explosive run game. We learned from that. I haven't seen anybody other than Georgia. And that game, that game, the run game was contained. The run game did good. The run defense did good. We just gave up those 6 explosives. So you look at those numbers and you're like, dang, we can't stop the run, but really we can. We can. We showed against Vanderbilt. Show me a team in the conference that hasn't given up at least one 25-yard run this season against another conference, a Power 4 or Power 5 opponent. Show me one, and then I get off of this thought of Alabama can stop the run defense. But until then, you're gonna have to give my guys their one off, and then let the numbers, the majority play out and level out, so your ratios to something happening in your favor are more likely to happen. So when I look at the game and I think of it going that way, my final score prediction, and I'm gonna say this here. I seen how you edited our games we played. It was fire. You like that, Adrian? Yeah, me too, man. Appreciate you for tapping in, man, showing love. And TikTok, I'm sorry I didn't get to the comments. I wasn't really looking at no comments. Appreciate y'all for tapping in on TikTok. Trapped Out, what's good? Britt, appreciate you for tapping in over there. Kitchen Gleason says LSU garbage. You see, I can't wait to play LSU. I think we're going to blow LSU out, chat. I see, that's what happened when you do them 300 push-ups, man. I did 300 push-ups today. That was my workout for today. Sets of 10, 30 sets of 10. Y'all want to join the push-up challenge for the month of November? Let me know. I add y'all to it. But you got to be willing to get in Discord when we do the sessions. You got to be willing to get in Discord. I'll be screen recording some of them, but for the most part, we're just going to be doing them together. 10 push-ups. I'll tap in. I'll put a message out, jump in, do 10 push-ups or 10 squats, whatever. Together, we're going to get fit together. But final thoughts, final score. Alabama. And I'm not going to lie, I did a practice live sim game. And it was Alabama 48, Missouri 24. I'm not going that high with Alabama score because I think we play to the mode of the game like we have been, right? Being away against Missouri, a team that can't score fast. I truly believe if we get up by 21 in this game, the game slows down and we get a late score to kind of pad the lead. But I think Alabama can win this game by 3 possessions. And I'm going to go with a final score of Alabama 38, Missouri 17. I truly believe Missouri's offense will struggle. I don't trust Bo Prabilia. I think he's a good kid. I just don't think he's seen this level of competition. I don't think he's not a kid. He's definitely a veteran presence there. But I don't think he's seen this level of competition. I don't think the offensive line has looked great. They didn't look great against South Carolina. They were able to, nullify the pass rush with South Carolina's front struggling this season. But they didn't look great. Like I said, Central Arkansas was able to push that offensive line around. I saw Kansas get some opportunities earlier. Their secondary, Kansas secondary, is just the worst in the country. If you had to ask me right now, they're one of the worst. Probably about as bad as Auburn. So 38-17 Bama for the win. And that's how I feel like it's going to go. So if y'all enjoyed those segments today, if you enjoyed this session of a segment of Chatting with Coach Smook, make sure you drop a like on YouTube. If you're on Facebook and you're seeing this live, make sure you react with some type of reaction. Thank you for the 2 reactions on Facebook, Joseph and my guy Christian Ballard. Appreciate y'all for tapping in over there. And then also all of the reactions and the taps on TikTok. We appreciate you. Twitch, we see you over there. We got 3 in Twitch chat. Appreciate y'all for showing love. YouTube, we got 58 in the chat on YouTube. How many likes we sitting at on YouTube? Y'all ain't show no love, man. Y'all ain't show no love on the YouTube chat. Y'all gotta run them likes up for you, boy. We got 53 in the chat. Y'all continue to run those likes up, man. 34 likes in the chat. So we hit our 25 like goal, man. We hit our 25 like goal. Continue to like it. Remember, chat, I'm looking at y'all right now. I'm looking at y'all not hit the like. Y'all got 54 people in here. Why y'all can't just hit the like button? I want to hit. Listen, we just need one more live video this week, chat. It don't matter if we get the 50 likes live or post live. We need one more video. So I hope everybody sees this before kickoff Saturday. We need one more video, one more live stream, one more VOD, one more anything on this channel for 50 likes. And we're going to be able to celebrate a big milestone with this community, y'all. So I appreciate y'all for supporting and continue to show your love. Hey, before we get out of here, y'all, I want to get into the comments and see what everybody was saying. I was trying to lock in so we can get a good cut for the first hour. But let me get into the comments real quick. I'm gonna take control, Mary J. I'm gonna scroll up. Let me see where I left off at. BS trying to get the Bama fix for the day. Ooh, he talking about the other content creators. Put me in the game. I got you. Last 2 games, Alabama's had fewer penalties than their opponents. And at the end of the day, Promised Land, that's what matters. You want to make less mistakes than your opponents, right? Why they not your boys? Roll Tide Roll. What's up, George Kush? 420. I see you in the chat. Pass that, my boy. Pass that. What up, Joseph? Good to see you. The Film Guy Network, perhaps you mean? Nah. The Film Guy Network, they do good breakdowns. They do very good breakdowns. But I think what they did not acknowledge is some of the things they had acknowledged. And a lot of people won't, man. It's easy to number watch when you're watching. See, the luxury I have is I'm really dissecting the SEC. I don't necessarily go across and break down everybody's film. Film Guy Network, they will break down everybody's film. They have the means too. They have all 22 access, all of that to see different angles and sit there. They got the remotes and the boards and all of that stuff. We're going to get there one day because that's where our passion is, talking some real football schematics, recruiting, all of that. But for what we do is we just talk about Bama. We just basically do Bama and their opponents. I look at our schedule. I look at the rest of the SEC opponents. I look how teams are playing live game. When they doing certain things that I feel like could hurt Alabama or would test Alabama, I go and I watch it a lot closer than what I see in live, right? And we get there. So I think they do a great job, man. Shout out to those guys, man. I've actually interacted with them on social media a couple of times. So my model has Alabama winning 34-23. Spent a lot of time creating this model. Jay Penny, you saying a lot of like in-depth stuff. You got to start. What model you talking about? You trying to Josh Pate somebody? I'm still in my big bro stuff now. The run part of the defense is supposed to catch the run, but shut down your whole offense in particular. I believe in my boy Womack. Facts. And the name of it is not the 4-2-5. I don't think you can shut down any one part of the offense. But what it does, it gives you the flexibility to designate personnel with personnel, right? You have enough speed and size, a mixture of both, to put your guys in spots to contain it, to where guys, when they're targeting explosive plays or explosive phases of their team, meaning the run game, if you're able to contain a team that's averaging 6.8 yards per carry, and you're able to put them down to 2.83 yards per carry, they will panic and come out of their mode because they're used to scoring or producing at a certain clip, and now you get to stay on pace because they're off pace. You force them into adverse situations, stuff they're not familiar with, and that's how you start to gain advantage. So Alabama has a chance to do that. My guy George Cook said, appreciate you, man. Dare said Georgia football in the chat. Missouri minus 4.5. Missouri 4.5 over Bama. You never did say you wanted to make that bet, man. I won't even bet you with your own team because you know what happens there. You don't like to pay when Georgia loses. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. Hey, appreciate everybody in the chat, man. We got 49 in the chat right now. 36 likes. Continue running them up. Jordan had to renew that membership. Had to renew that membership. Shanae been a member for 8 months. Let's go, man. Celebrate. Hot take. We hold them to 2.3 yards per carry. Sound like you took my take, man. What it do, Jason? Good to see everybody in the chat. I'm just scrolling through the comments. Our X factor is Ty. Speaking for the future of the schedule, he's going to be the guy that makes the play for us to remain undefeated. Roll Tide. The guy looks good in that pocket. I don't think that's the X factor. I think the X factor is the offensive line, Antoine. I think the X factor is the offensive line. You've heard the questions. We've all had questions about what do we see? What's the long-term effectiveness of the offensive line rotation? Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford, Caden Proctor, Will Sanders, those four that rotate from the center to the left of the offensive line, they have been immaculate as far as their production and their cohesiveness. Last game with Wilkin Formby at right guard, we saw a few problems in the run game, but pass pro was immaculate with Wilkin Formby and Michael Carroll at right tackle. Wilkin Formby at left guard, I would have never thought. But it's even better when Geno Vandermark and Michael Carroll are in the game. But it's also great or good when Wilkin Formby is at right tackle. And then the run game is even better when you got Jaden Roberts and Michael Carroll on the right side. So Alabama's offensive line is the X factor. The fact that you can't really take 4 defensive linemen and say, hey, we're going to attack these guys like this, not knowing. And you know what's crazy? I've never seen this, and I'm going to keep it's been amazing to me since last year. I've never seen a team rotate offensive linemen in the middle of offensive drives. And I mean, not just bring an extra offensive lineman on to be a 6th offensive lineman eligible receiver on the line of scrimmage. But we're talking about offensive linemen coming in and actually playing 2 or 3 downs and then rotating out. Never seen that in my life. Not at the collegiate level, not at Alabama for sure. So to see that and to see us have production in it, that's more of a problem for Missouri. That's the X factor for me. Kevin Smith says they're not going to change who they are. Kevin Smith, wear a wristband now. You've been hanging out too long to not have a wristband. Ty does well buying himself another half a second by dropping back 15 yards. That's not consistent though, Jay Penny. I almost want to open the phone lines because you're saying a lot of outlandish stuff that doesn't make sense. Ty is evading the pocket very rarely. He's not stepping out of the pocket to make a lot of his passes, right? Has no reason to. But when he does, he's not dropping back 15 yards. And I mean, that's one pass out of the 40-something that he's thrown in. Come on, man. Stop. I'm about to stop skipping. I'm going to start skipping your comments. You got to do better. The running percentage went way up. I thought Bama couldn't run the ball. Facts, Mike Jones. Listen to it. I see improvement every week from us. Facts, Compton. Adrian Eccles, I see how you edited it. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah. I do 400 sets of 2. 2 sets of 400. You do 400 push-ups. Oh, sets of 20. Okay, I was about to say, boy. I thought you were saying you do 2 sets or 400, or you was doing 400 sets of 2. How do you do that? 1, 2. Get up. 30 seconds. 1, 2. That'd be crazy. 800 push-ups like that. That might do some different type of muscle hypertrophy. Auburn will give y'all some trouble. Not saying they will beat y'all. Who was that? Oh yeah, Auburn, Georgia tomorrow. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow on the call-in show. 15 yards. I don't know what he's talking about. Is the X factor? Oh yeah. Oh man. Hey, listen, if y'all didn't see the short or the video already, man, go check out Coach Drink trolling Coach DeBoer doing the midweek teleconference. I posted it. You know, we were live listening to it. I posted it, my angle from it. I see other people have tried to copy the same sentiments, right? I see my post got a lot of views on Twitter, but not a lot of reactions because people are watching and they're trying to copy it. So I appreciate y'all. It'll catch wind. It'll catch wind soon, especially after we win Saturday. So with that being said, y'all, remember, y'all, don't forget, if you're not a member of the AAA family, we have that opportunity ready for you. You can either scan the QR code in the top. Which corner is this, chat? Left-hand corner of the chat. Left-hand corner of the screen. You scan that QR code. Become a member of the AAA family. Dive into the network. Dive into the community. Jump in the Discord. Keep up with everything that's happening. These last couple weeks of the season will be full of different activities, different drops for the members only stuff. We didn't do much in September because y'all know how that September turnover is for the network. Well, if this is your first year, you don't know, but the turnover for September is crazy. It's crazy for an independent network like ours. And, you know, we only have one personality right now. I'm the only personality. We got many team members, but I'm the only person actually producing content. as we had a plan to get other creators on the channel, but things didn't work out. They change up, and life happens. You got to go work, got to get another job before you're able to dive into an endeavor like this. So I'm still pushing because of y'all support. Continue to support, and we're gonna continue to grow, and we're gonna continue to party. So if you want to become a member of the AAA family, make sure y'all go check that out right there. All right, make sure y'all go check that out. And then if you want to donate monetarily, meaning you want to send a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, we have that option. Cash App QR code is available for you right here at the top left hand screen in the your top left hand of your screen. Scan that with your phone if you're watching it on the TV or watching it on somebody's phone, because I know we got people watching on other people's phone, because that's how fire the show is. What's up, Ayo Ray? Good to see you, man, with your trolling stuff. Bro, I want a game so bad. He thinks I'm a gaming content creator, but I'm not, man. I gotta understand you. When you see me on that game, it's literally for that moment, at that time. You know what I'm saying? And if you lose to me, you're garbage. Let me just say that again. We gotta keep that. I'm the worst NCAA player on TikTok. I'm trust and believe. Walter said left. Y'all remember left? Gotta kick a left after we score on the live game sim. Adria, you want to do that? I'm trying to do a recording tonight. Recording tonight. Tim Brooks said Missouri scores late to make it 20. What you think? So you thinking 38-20 Alabama? You thinking 38-20 Bama? Now, what's up, Shrimp? My booski in the chat. What's up, my little boo? That's my sister. Y'all sorry, y'all. Y'all caught me in a big bro moment, man. Give it up for my sister, man. My little sister, Shrimp. I love you, girl, man. I miss her, y'all. I keep telling y'all, every time Shrimp pop up, I have to tell the story. She is the reason my persona, my personality name is Coach Smook. All right. I used to just go by Smook. I used to actually go by Bama Smook when I was on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, on Call of Duty. When I first started going on Call of Duty, I was Bama Smook, and I changed to the Smook Hines. And then the last time I could change it, because on Call of Duty, you only used to be able to change it 3 times, right? Last time I changed it, was, after a session with Shrimp and the rest of the crew, we the Smoke crew. You know what I'm saying? We was in a session, and I was trying to tell Shrimp how to clutch up and buy us back and all this stuff. She was like, let me play my game. You don't have to coach me, coach. And I had just started coaching high school ball at the time, right, Shrimp? I had just started coaching varsity high school ball 2020. I had just started coaching my first full-time coaching gig. And she called me coach, and it kind of stuck, because I was an instructive type of leader for my squad, man. Look, she remember. Yeah, man. But we connected through a video game. Still have yet to meet her in person, like face to face, hug her. So, but we've supported each other in different areas of our lives, different phases of our life since 2020. And when you get friends like that you meet and you never physically met them, but you're able to connect with people online, and you're able to receive that authentic type of love and appreciation and friendship, create that type of relationship, you got to maximize it. And I appreciate Shrimp, and I got a lot of them that pop up, man. If y'all ever see Nicholas Woe pop in, he still pops in. Shout out to him. It was my very first moderator. I didn't even have enough people in my chat to be moderated, and he was like, I'll be your moderator. I was like, sure. I don't know what that means. And so he volunteered and used to hold it down. And then after a while, we started getting numbers on Warzone, and people started watching. I started trying to grow a community. It was nothing like this. So I appreciate people like Shrimp, and for everybody that's in the chat, man, that's supporting. I appreciate y'all. What she say? Heavy on the let me play. As she say, for the record, I clutched the game. She did. She brought us back, but before we could land, she had already killed the last dude. So just so y'all know, sis cold. She was cold. I don't know if anybody else got it like we used to have it on Boss. Hey, you see Boss grabbing your clothes and dragging them out different spots now. So Boss is walking around the house with Bay clothes, like he been doing it the last 2 days. He'll grab some clothes, and he tried to take it over to the dog's toy box. Come look in here, sweetie. He tried to take it over to the dog's toy box, because that's where they toys at. I wish I could show y'all, but I ain't gonna show y'all. Look, your socks that was in the kitchen, I was wondering how they got in the kitchen. I found out who did it. Caught him. Why you push that man like that? Oh, dang. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. Let me get off here. I gotta go take care of baby and get active with the family. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for tapping in today. And again, y'all, remember, don't hesitate to join them YouTube members and join the AAA family. And remember, y'all, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, "Put me in the game, Coach Smook." I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be blessed and roll tide. Beat them Tigers, baby. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Be blessed.
Subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the gun with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide.